So I'm going to go ahead and set up a new geodatabase. Maybe. And a new feature data set. And the data that I'm looking at or using is continental layer or continental level. So I'm going to go ahead and set my projection, not the Alaska, come on, North American. I'm going to do that one for this. Okay, so I've got the structure set up. On the website that I just pulled up, nope, that's not it. Yeah. So I found some crime data. I'm going to do the Control F crime. See, there it is. So here's the violent crime data that I want to be able to map. And it's being added down here. So if I open up this Excel, I have an attribute table with a lot of junk I don't need that I can't map, actually. That can't be in my map. But I can map this. So I'm going to go ahead and select this. Control C and get a new worksheet. And then I've got to do a little bit of cleaning up. I don't want the whole United States. I just want the states themselves. I can't have a special character in my field name. So I'm going to take those out. And I can't have commas in my data. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and change that to a number with no decimal places. Okay, and no commas. Did I take the comma out?
Yeah.
Automatically? Yeah, okay. And then this X means there's no data, so I can't have, these are numbers, so this needs to be a number. So by standard, a -999 can mean a void. So I'm going to look at these states, and they all look good. I think it won't, but I'm going to go ahead and remove them just to make sure. And then in the olden days, in order to save this correctly, you had to click in A1. And so I still do that out of habit. Okay, yeah, because it used to be if I clicked here, that's all the data I got from here down. So I just do that. I'm going to save this, save as. I'm going to put it on my desktop, and I can't put this in my folder yet, but I can put it in here and call it crime rate crime rate Excel. Okay. All right. So now I have that, and I'm going to go back into my ArcMap, which I've started, and in my geodatabase, I'm going to import that table. Desktop. There it is. So maybe. So when Excel sets up 3 spreadsheets when it starts, and if you're lazy like I am and you don't remove those extra worksheets, they show up. But my data's in that first worksheet, so I'm just going to add the first worksheet. And it says, oh, there's state, there's rate 2 and rate 3. That comes in as text, which I wanted. That came in as double, so there must be percentages here, and I'm okay with that. And then I'm going to name it crime. All right, crime rate, and I think it's 2010. And I'm going to say OK, and it should get added to my map. And then I want to make sure all my data came in correctly. So I'm going to go ahead and open it, and it looks pretty good. So now I have my data. 51 states, this is good. Now I'm going to add that price data that had the states in it. Okay, where am I going now? Where did I put that? Ugh. The dilemma. Computer. It's in here. Okay. Now I don't want to corrupt hers. I'll corrupt my own. Okay, so I'm going to go into US, and I'm going to get the US data, and I'm going to get the states. Cool. All right, so I have the states. If I open this attribute table, I have something called state name. There's 51 of them. It's cap up and the rest down. And if I go into crime rates, I've got something called state that looks the same to me. So I can do a join. So I'm going to go right-click states and go into the join. And so it only sees one table, so it just picks that. It says, oh, you want to join stuff to the crime rate table. And then I have to pick my key field. And I think I had state name and state. It saw that as my only option. And I'm going to validate my join. And I never validate my joins, really. And it will tell me if I have broken one of the laws of cardinality or the cardinal rules. Anyway. Okay, so if I open up my attribute table now and I look at the end here, look here. There's that standalone table that I just added to my map. And you see that that asterisk? That means that's joined data or a duplicate. Might mean that it's a duplicate. Oh, absolutely. That's the whole point of the join, right? And I always go back and check a few. So I will take that name and throw it by that name and just run down a few just to kind of do an eyeball that, yeah, everybody's good. All right? So there's my join. Now to make that permanent, I'm going to take that. I'm going to make sure nothing's selected. Okay, nothing is selected. I'm going to go to Data, Export Data, and I'm going to go inside the geodatabase. Now I'm going to go inside the feature data set and call that crime rates. Sure. And there we go. So now I have something that's from the price data set, which I don't really need anymore, and I have these two things that I can now map, or not. Oh. Go to properties, and now I can map the crime rate by state. Let's go all the way down to here. Get rid of those guys. Okay, so there you go. Wow. Okay, I know where I'm not moving. Okay, so that's a join. That was a one-to-one relationship. How do I know it was a one-to-one relationship? Well, I know there's 51 states and there's 51 states, so that's pretty easy to know that. NDC. I'm sorry, I had a question. What's the crime rate relate to? So you'd have to go back to your census data, and it's the crimes, number of violent crimes per 1,000 of the population. Okay? So it's normalized the data so that even Nevada, which has a lower population, it's got a pretty spectacular crime rate there. And Oregon, we're pretty good. And wow, I'm going to those light yellow states. Yeah. Yeah.
So which state has 1.4 crimes per person?
Florida, Louisiana.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm just very suspect of more crimes than people statistics.
Good point. Good point. Good point. Yeah, I thought about that too when I saw that, but that's a whole nother lecture, is looking at the data.
I mean, you know, like get released.
We're having a discussion now about the crime rates. Okay, so that's one thing that she's going to do. So I'm going to add the county data right now, and I'm going to add the dating table and the county data. Where's the county? County. Okay. Okay. So let's look at the attribute table for the county data. Okay, so I have the name of the county. So I've got 3,141 records. I've got the name of the state. I've got a state FIPS. I have population. So I want to know, I'm not going to do it today. That's bad. Okay, so what I want to know is what is the total number of Hispanics? No, under 5. Let's just do under 5 in each of these states. So I'm going to do a summarize, and I'm going to find those under 5 kids, and I'm going to say give me the sum. I could ask for the average number, or the minimum, the max, but I'm just going to get the sum. Oh, output name is not valid. And so I need to put this beside my other county under 5. Whoops, under 5. Okay, and it's going to be in the geodatabase table, so I'm good. No. I have to say file geodatabase table. There we go. Save. What do you mean a county? Oh, thank you. There we go. In the geodatabase. Thank you, thank you. Good job. I was not in the geodatabase. All right, so I'm going to do a summary there. And what I get is a table. Open. How come I didn't get that? Oh, yeah, I did. Okay, so it says for each of these states, I now have the number of counties, so the number of records, and what the total sum of the under 5 population was. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. Well, let's do it that way. Right? Okay, so now that I have that, I could append this to my state data if I needed to have that information and map it. I could do a join right here. I could do that.
Just adding.
Yep.
Adding to what attribute.
You can do that. It gets messy, but you can certainly do that. So there is that's pretty much what she's going to have you do. The dating table, she's going to ask you to do a join with the dating table to the counties. And one thing you have to decide is, what are you going to use? Well, what about names? That would be cool, right? Because I've got names in my county. Is this county? No, that is not county. I've got names in here. So couldn't I just do a join, a one-to-one join of names? Maybe. What now? Oh, okay. So how do I verify that? Aha. I can do a summarize. And I can say, okay, this is going to be county name. Sure. Oh, that was speedy. That makes me nervous when things work that fast. Oh, nope, it's not a one-to-one. Look, there are 12 counties in my data named Adams and 4 named Adair. So I can't use, oh, and lots of Washingtons. So I can't use the name field to do my join. So now I got to go back. Okay. What about, oh, wait a minute, what about the county FIPS? That should be a unique identifier. So let's just test that before I go through all the work to make a erroneous table. Erroneous. Okay, I can use big words. There we go. Let's take a look at that. All right, add that. What were you saying there, Jen? She's so, yeah, look, that doesn't work. There's 49 counties with the FIPS 01. So she's absolutely right. I have to go back, and the only one that has a unique identifier is this FIPS that has the state and the county FIPS number. And so if that is a one-to-one, and then I go in through here, and that is a one-to-one, then I could do a join. from the FIPS and the state FIPS. Okay, so checking your one-to-one is really important to know what your cardinality is and can you make a join. All right. The last piece that I wanted to show you was, okay, open hyperlink. All right. So I'm going to download all earthquakes within the past 30 days. I know. Okay, so here I've got a time field, latitude, longitude. I'm going to check all of my field names first to make sure that there aren't any violations, but there aren't. They look good. And so I'm going to save this in my folder. And where is my folder? Desktop. Price. Okay, this is Quakes all month. January. Okay. Yes. All right. So now I'm going to go back to my CSVs are weird. They ask you to save multiple times. Okay. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to import that table into my geodatabase. Import table, and I'm going to go grade quakes, add. Okay. All right, it gives me all my good info there. And so let's take a look at that. Okay, if I open this up, I want to make sure my data came in. Null values mean there probably was not any data here, and I would, if I were doing this in the real world, I would go back and check these values with my original spreadsheet just to make sure that something didn't get corrupted. But there's my latitude and my longitude, and I'm going to go through here and do a display XY data. And it sees the X is my long and the Y is my lat, which is good. And it's telling me that the projection is the North American. So I'm going to, what if I take the default? Let's see what happens. Please don't work. Okay, good. So here they all are. These are the earthquakes. Yeah, I get one. But when I look at this, there's 8,000. So all of those are zoom to oh, well, there they are. But wait a minute, what does that look like? That looks like Alaska. Oh, you know, what did I do? I used the wrong projection. So I have to go back here and say, no, you stupid defaulting piece of stuff. I'm going to go to, I'm going to go to the world projection, WGS84, not projected, la la la, and then let's hope that works after I cussed at it. No. Okay, well, this is totally an exciting demo here. Oh, it is. It did. I don't have the rest of the world on there. Phew. Oh. Okay, there we go. I was thinking they were just U.S. points. So there we go. So those are the earthquakes in the last 30 days. And, well, wait, fracking? Wait a minute, zoom to layer. Let's look at fracking. Okay, but that's not fracking. Oh, well, there's that there too. Zoom to layer. Okay, so now, one of the things that you'll notice, that's called an event. It brings it in as an event. An event is temporary. Okay, so if I want to, oh, okay, so I didn't think I could do that. I could add a text field. I could do some work on this. Oh, because it's in my geodatabase. So in order to keep this as a permanent file, I need to export this whole thing into my geodatabase feature data set. as quakes. There we go. And so a lot of data duplication going on here, right? If we look at this, I have all of these tables. I've got, I just now created two new feature classes that didn't exist before. And the word event is gone from this, so I'm good with that. And I use the lat long to join that. It would be really nice if there was a city or a state locator on here, but I don't see, unless that is, no. Interesting. Okay. So that is kind of the crux of what she's going to have you do. For your exam, I am going to have you make a join. I'm not going to have you make a relate, but I do want you to know the difference between them and when you can do them and why you might do them. So we'll go over the summary questions on Thursday, and you guys will get some good practice on this, okay? Sweet.